It's getting cold here in Scandinavia, but we're already warming up for an exciting and different 24. This is such a good time to plan how are you going to use the brand new year in a new way. Are you just going to continue business as usual? I don't think that's very smart for any of us in this turbulent time of radical change. I think we are all better off with pausing and reflecting on how can we adjust our course so that we co-create a future that we would like to experience. And I think it's time for us to all think of ourselves as leaders, formal and informal leaders, who have a say and who can make a difference with our ideas, our thoughts, our ways of leading, our ways of living. We all have something to contribute, and now it has never been more clear than before how we all play an active role in co-creating the future. So I will continue to offer in-depth, deeply transformational programs. I keep adding more hacks to my leadership programs that make people transform even faster, but also in a way where they are experiencing lasting change. Because this is the problem with transformation, is if it's only on the surface and if it doesn't really manifest when we need it the most, and we need it the most when the going gets tough, when we are under most pressure. This is where we need to act in new ways in order to create a different future than the past that is no longer working. So I will continue to offer that, but I have also seen that even though a pioneer of change who has adopted the new leadership can make a huge difference, I am sometimes really truly surprised at what I see when I see some of my leadership participants go out and use what they have learned. They create small and big revolutions in their companies, and I am so surprised at how much one person can do. But I do also see that a lot of pioneers of change get battle tired. They feel it's so much work to try to help their company to go in the new future-proof direction, and many of them end up leaving the company and forming their own new companies or joining a progressive company so that they can get into the future much faster. And so I wanted to create something that could help more traditional companies get on future-proof track faster. So what I have done is I have created a lighter program. It's not as deeply transformational, but it is still transformational because this is what I'm all about. And we will use some of the hacks I use in my longer programs. But this one is easier to digest because it's only, we only meet very few times live, and it's optional, and everything is recorded and made available digitally. And it's also a program where we do look 360-degree around and see what do we need to adjust to in the future, and how can we do that. So every single month we will work on one more future-proofing notch in the right direction, and we'll get through many of the areas that are really affecting our present already, and certainly our future, where we need to step up in our leadership to have a say as to what kind of future we are co-creating. So these new programs exist for all gender version and in an all-exclusive for women or people who identify as females, because I think that sometimes it's nice for us to be in different rooms. But I will also invite people to join and to co-create together, because I think that's even more exciting when we are centered in our own good roots, and then we meet and collaborate and co-create. We can really create magic from there. So I created this program because many say to me that it's not enough if one leader changed. Even if it's the top executive, the top executive can do a lot on his own, but many of the people I work with are pioneers of change in other parts of the organization. And it's really hard work for them to change a whole organization, and sometimes it's not even possible. So I created some options where you can take your team, because then you have something that keeps the team on track, and it's inspirational for the team, and it gives you something to discuss and something to a common activity that is relevant for all of you. But it's not a big investment in time or resources. It's possible to take along all the other things you are also doing, other leadership programs, other training programs in AI and what have you. So this is something that will add to whatever else you're doing, but it will certainly keep you on a future-proof track. If you're curious, check the report I just published. I will link to it in the comments, and this report includes invitations for the 24 programs. If you want to discuss what would be the best solution for your particular company, please feel free to send me a direct message, and we'll find a time to find out what would be optimal for your organization. I don't believe in one size fits all. I feel that it's very important that we take case by case. And I still love about my boutique leadership academy that I still prioritize and have the option to tailor-made my programs so that they really work for the individual and the individual company. I feel this is where I can distinguish myself from all the mass programs and all the AI-generated programs. I still like that human touch and that customized care, and also bringing pioneers of change together so that they can inspire each other and co-create something that none of us are able to do on our own. This is the time of the collective leadership. None of us can bring about the future we would like to experience on our own. So for that reason alone, it makes sense to join programs where you can meet other pioneers of change and faster get the good ideas. What are the best practices here and there and everywhere, and what can you learn from other people so you don't have to invent all the wheels on your own. So I hope you will feel like joining, and especially or just for a start taking the invitation, and just know that I'm here to help. If you need any help, support for your leadership in super challenging times, it is probably the most important decade we are in right now in the whole 21st century. We are laying the tracks for not only ourselves and our businesses, but also for our children and their children. So more care and more reflection and more investment in taking the right steps, not only what works in the short run, but also what works in the long run. This is what has become life, a matter of life and death, literally. So I hope you will take the time. I try to make that time as short as possible, but still do take the time. It might be fatal to not do it, and it may cause miracles to invest that time. Thank you for your attention.